So a lot's been happening with Bungie over the past year. It's been very eventful, I think, in their offices. It's been mostly bad stuff, unfortunately. There have been layoffs, there have been accusations, people have gotten fired from these accusations. Destiny 2 hasn't been doing great as well. Yeah, it's just overall, not been the best year maybe for Bungie. But there is actually something that I missed. I'm hearing about this for the first time today, but this all actually happened 2 months ago in October. And then just now there has been a pretty big update with that. So going back to October, a man by the name of Matthew Martiniu, which I know I'm pronouncing wrong, filed a lawsuit against Bungie claiming that Destiny 2 had a lot of basically stolen assets and ideas that were copied off of Matthew's, I guess, previous work. So according to the lawsuit, Matthew, I guess, wrote a bunch of stuff on WordPress, like his own personal blog, about basically an idea for a sort of sci-fi fantasy world. He basically went in detail about this world. He talked a lot about the names, the factions, kind of went through the whole Fallout lore, so to speak, of everything. And one of these factions in his made-up world is called the Red Legion. Now, to my knowledge, I don't think this idea was ever published into a game. I could be wrong, but I am not seeing that. From what I can see from the lawsuit, it looks like this is just stuff that he wrote, and that's it. So then fast forward to the game Destiny 2. So Matthew is alleging that in a separate campaign, I think it's called, or like a quest line. I've never played Destiny 2, but I kind of know how it works, but I think it's like a campaign. So this is called the Red War campaign. So he is alleging that this campaign stole a lot of ideas from his WordPress blog about his fantasy world. Basically, they incorporated a lot of stuff into Destiny 2's Red War campaign. It seems that the main one that he takes issue with is the Red Legion, the use of that term. I guess the Red War campaign has that in their campaign. Seems like kind of a generic term, I guess. But he just kind of goes on and on about different similarities, allegedly, between his written work and Destiny 2's actual concepts in their campaign. And that was that. So that was 2 months ago. So actually just this week, Bungie has now finally officially responded to this. And it's probably no surprise to hear that they are denying these allegations. Whether you believe these allegations to be true or not, yeah, it's probably no surprise that they were going to come to some sort of defense for their own work. Now, they are saying that these claims by Matthew are completely baseless, they're not based on any factual evidence, and that he really failed to bring up really any factual evidence to support his crazy claims. And Bungie now is seeking not only for the case to be dismissed, but they are also seeking some money now from this, mainly from legal fees and costs and other miscellaneous fees they now have to pay as a result of all of this commotion. And all things considered, granted, I did just learn about this story today. I'm not an expert on the complete lore of everything, but I guess with that and the fact that I don't play the Destiny games, maybe that makes me kind of neutral here. So, in my opinion, just from what I know, from what I've read from his write-up of the lawsuit, I do think that it is a bit silly. Yeah, a lot of the stuff he seems to bring up in support of his idea that Bungie stole his ideas is very broad. Like, it's almost like he thinks that he just came up with the whole idea of like a concept of different factions in space in the future. The whole Red Legion thing, I guess that's some sort of an argument, if Destiny uses the exact same term that he did. But I mean, I don't know, a name is just a name. Again, Red Legion just to me sounds kind of broad. It sounds very spacey. Like, I've never watched like Star Trek, but I feel like I could see that right out of Star Trek or Battlestar Galactica or StarCraft or Halo. And I mean, also too, like, who is this Matthew guy? Like, absolutely no disrespect to him necessarily, but it's not like I don't know, let's say Square Enix, for example, saying that Bungie stole a bunch of ideas and stuff from them. One big known creator alleging that against another big creator. No, I mean, to me it just kind of seems like one guy wrote some ideas on his WordPress page, which good for him, no disrespect on that, but then years later saw similarities in a project that was not worked on by him, and I don't know, maybe just took it the wrong way. I am Googling his name along with his apparent alias, Casper Cole. That was like his pen name, and I'm finding like absolutely nothing besides just articles that are talking about this. So to me, just in my opinion, I don't think that it is likely at all that it just so happened that a Bungie employee, a decade ago, was browsing some random random WordPress fan fiction and found a story that he just had to use the ideas on. I don't know, it just seems to me that this is possibly a creator that is maybe a bit misunderstood here on what actually happened. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. But Bungie seems to think that there is absolutely no case here. We will see what happens with this. If they are right and this lawsuit actually does get dismissed, it does sound like that Matthew will also owe Bungie some money when it's all said and done.